you can be the host, I can be the co-host. What do you got to say to the people today? We're gonna talk to Susie for a minute and see what she got to say to the people today. What do you got to say to the people today? We've been switching times and doing stuff and switching it around. We got woke up. You was up before me and you ain't even tell me what was going on. Yeah, you heard the fire alarm going off and that it needed a new battery, but you didn't tell me nothing. What's up with that, man? What's up with you hearing that? But then you want to kiss my forehead. What's up with that, man? Yeah, I know. You thirsty hoe. Come here, girl. Yeah, that's my girl. Come here, girl. Yeah, that's my girl. What's up, y'all? Anybody coming in? We got a show going on today. We're going to let the algorithm do its thing so we can do our thing, and it'll be a thing. Yes, girl. Yes, girl. What do you want to do today? Do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? Do you want to go shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it? I love you, girl. We got it put together now. Things are coming together now, aren't they? Everything coming together. You coming together? Come on up here. What? You lazy, lazy girl. Yes, you are. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Who's coming in? What we gonna do? We got a show to do today. Hello. There she goes. There's my girl. Yeah, there she goes. If y'all didn't see that, y'all missed it. She's just the sweetest girl in the whole wide world. Yes, she is. She like kissing people's foreheads if you get that close. Yes, it is. This is the sweetest little baby. We're going to get started, y'all. Let's get started. This is a thirsty hoe. First things first, they said, obey your thirst. And that's what we doing today. Control. Show 88. What we doing 88 days in? Doing control. This is how we do it. First things first, obey your thirst. That was a slogan. Thirst is what today's topic is. Are you thirsting for anything? You thirsty? This is my thirsty. Hey. We don't clean ourselves on camera. This is my thirsty girl right here. And she wants to be a part of it. So what I'm going to do is scoot the chair over. Hop. Hop. Come on. Hop. I'm going to let her get in the chair. So we got a co-host right here. I am Master Christian. And this is my co-host, Susie Spaniel. Today's show is presented to you by Master Christian LLC. And yeah, I brought the energy today because I believe you need some energy today. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Thirst is not a warning. Not the problem. Thirst is a warning, not the problem. You see how I did that? Sometimes I'll be reading and I catch a word over here and put it over here, and it's very strange. But it is what it is. Thirst is a warning, not the problem. Control, the show about human and animal behavior. How do y'all humans and animals be behaving? It's kind of crazy. We're going to start this off with some early programming right here. We're going to start this off programming you to get your equipment together. Thumb through the loop, thumb through the loop, thumb through the loop. Yeah, that's how you want to do it. You want to do the thumb through the loop. That's how you carry your leash. Thumb through the loop. Then you handle it. Yeah, left hand, right hand. This is my right hand. This is my right thumb. Thumb through the loop. This is my left hand, guiding the dog. I can pull the slack up here. Now we working the dog. We can relax. We can walk with the dog. We can let the dog go around us. We can give the dog more leash. All right, that's it for the dog. We're just going to put this on. So you see how it works. This is how it works. And if we want to hook it so it's not hanging around in the way, bam. You see that? I strap my leash on. And now I can go ahead and work it. Let me get my collar loose because it'll mess your collar up if you got on a collar shirt. And if you got a thirst for knowledge, hey, I'm giving it to you. This is how you work your dog. 101, master Christian style. But thumb through the loop. Thumb through the loop. We're going to make a commercial. Thumb through the loop. So we can teach everybody how this works. Because if you don't use this correctly, you're still trying stuff. We want to be 100% on something out here in this world. And this is one of the easiest things that you can be 100% on right here, right now. So if that's what you was thirsting for, you've arrived. You found it, a well of what you want to drink. The loop, the thumb loop, and the thumb. They're married. Look at that. Ta-da! All right, I told you we was going to get over that and keep on moving. So let's go ahead. By the time you're thirsty, your body has already been asking for something. The question is, how many other warnings in your life are you ignoring until they become impossible to ignore? Have you been ignoring stuff in your life? How you feel, how you moving, a pain that's just been nagging at you, but you say, oh, I'll get over it. It'll go away. Good morning, y'all. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. What's happening, y'all, on YouTube? What's happening, y'all, on TikTok? This is our world right now. We had a different time today, but I believe no matter when we come on, it's the right time, because this is our time. You didn't know? Now you know. Thirst looks simple. You get thirsty, you drink, but thirst is really a lesson in communication. Living systems constantly give information about their condition. The body communicates through sensations, animals communicate through behavior, plants communicate through changes in appearance and growth. Environments communicate through changing conditions. The behavioral problem is that we often do not respond to the first signal. We wait until the signal becomes uncomfortable. We wait until we are extremely thirsty, exhausted, angry, financially strained, or overwhelmed. Then we treat the crisis as though it appeared suddenly. Nothing appeared suddenly. You wasn't paying attention to the signs. You know, like when you just keep going and it's a big red sign with white letters going across. Everybody, put it in the comment what that sign says. A red hexagonal sign with white letters across it. What does that mean? Let's be interactive today. Let's see if y'all know what that means. Yeah. All right. It means what? Anybody? Hello? What does the red sign with the white letters mean that we come upon while we driving around? Yeah, that's how we driving around. Yo, I'm ready today. Y'all just don't understand. It means stop. And if you don't pay attention to the sign or the signs, then you're going to miss something, because that sign's been there all the time. They don't just sneak the stop sign up on you. Every time you came to that corner, it probably said stop, unless they're changing things around. And when it comes to thirst, you missed that first stop sign because you wasn't paying attention. We got to pay attention because it doesn't appear suddenly. Thirst teaches us that a warning is not necessarily the beginning of a problem. It may be the evidence of something that has already been happening. Today we would examine thirst from 5 directions and use human behavior, animal behavior, plants, and the environment to understand why recognizing early signs can change our decisions. When you recognize it early, your decision changes. But if you're not paying attention, how you gonna change your decision? Let's go. Are you good at recognizing what you need early? Whoa, Susie, you got me. You put a bunch of hair on me. I'm covered in Susie hair. Are you good at recognizing what you need early? Or do you usually wait until your body or your life forces you to pay attention? Do you usually wait until you're forced to pay attention? Hey, yeah, that's like I tell you about the dog running out the house. Stay. People don't care about the dog running out the house until the dog runs out the house. That's something that you can fix long before the dog runs out of the house. Before you open the door, you can put the dog in a kennel, in a room, or on leash, or even pick the dog up. You got options. But the number one option is to know that the dog will run out the door. Pay attention. Attention is the one thing you don't have to come out of any money for to pay. You just got to focus in and know what's going on. And, I shouldn't have to keep telling you this. You should have picked it up by now. I've been putting it down. All you got to do is pick it up. It's not stealing. It's for you. Thirst is communication. Thirst is not your body inconveniencing you. It is communication. Your body constantly monitors its internal condition. When your water balance changes, physiological systems respond, and the sensation we recognize as thirst helps motivate behavior that restores balance. People often treat signals as if the signal itself is the problem. I'm thirsty. Thirsty ain't the problem. You haven't been hydrating is the problem. Did you eat some fruit? Did you drink something that's going to hydrate your body? Or are you drinking things that don't quench your thirst? And that slogan I gave you, first thing first, obey your thirst, because they said soda is going to quench your thirst. And soda is never, ever going to quench your thirst. And that you get, it's because it's burning going down your throat. Well, I shouldn't say that. Soda is a big contributor to everything that goes on. Yeah, they back everybody. Alcohol is too, because they want these things that will not quench your thirst to be the things you spend your money on. But we're going to fix them now. We're going to tell the truth, the shame the. We're not saying his name around here, or its name around here. Yeah. People often treat signals itself as the problem. We say I'm tired. We say I'm hungry. I'm stressed, or I'm thirsty. But instead of asking what produced the signal, we sometimes try to silence it and communicate doing exactly what created it. A signal has a purpose. The stronger response is not simply noticing the signal, it is understanding what the signal is communicating and making an appropriate change in our decision. What's up, Susie? Are you changing your decision? Imagine someone working outside on a hot day. They are busy and do not want to stop. At first, everything feels normal. Later, they notice increasing thirst, but they keep working because stopping feels inconvenient. Recognizing the signal and responding to the signal are two different behaviors. Information has little protective value if we repeatedly refuse to act on it. So if you know that you got a problem and you know, sit, stay, sit, sit, no sit, stay. If you repeatedly refuse to pay attention to the signal, you see I took a time out on y'all. I got to stop and fix the suit. If I don't fix the suit, then the suit gets doing what she's doing. That's what you got to do at the door. You got to stop and fix the dog. I'm giving you jewels. You might want a diamond here, but what I'm giving you is something that's worth way more than a diamond. It's control over a life. And when the children want to run out the door, you stop them too. Whatever you're doing is way less important than stopping what's going on around you. Recognizing a signal and responding to a signal are two different behaviors. Information has little protective value if we repeatedly refuse to act on it. That means you must use effort to act on it. You ain't know about effort? We did that. We're going to do some more about effort. Animals also organize behavior around physiological needs. Water availability can influence movement, feeding, resting locations, migration, and competition. An animal does not need to understand hydration science for its internal condition to influence its behavior. Need creates signals. Signals influence behavior. Behavior can help restore balance. You see these things? Need, signals, behavior. Need creates signals. Signals influence behavior, and behavior can help restore balance. Your body speaks quietly before it has to speak loudly. Am I speaking too loud here? No. It's your body telling you what's going on. And many times, our co-host wants to only be a part-time hostess. Yeah, you can't. Don't be mad at me for having fun. It is what it is. What signal does your body give you that you ignore most often? Pain? Numbness? What's going on with your body? No sick. No. Good girl. Stay. What's going on with your body that you've been ignoring? It's your body. If you don't take care of it, who else is going to take care of your body? It's your body, yaddy. Why do we sometimes recognize exactly what we need and still refuse to respond? You gotta recognize it. Sometimes you won't respond because of ignorance. Sometimes you won't respond because you're busy. Sometimes you won't respond because you don't care. But some things can be responded to. If you got stinky feet, it's things that you can do with that. You gotta focus on them stinky feet to fix those stinky feet. And you gotta go see somebody if you can't do it yourself. It's things that we can respond to that we've been getting the signal on. You got bad breath? You can get some help with that. Yeah, it's all kind of help with that. You may have something going on that you need somebody to look at. Halitosis comes from somewhere. Maybe down in your gut. I don't know where your bad breath coming from, but it's something you can do about it, I guarantee. And if not, at least you try. Trying to fulfill whatever need that you're having is important. Don't get carried away now. Don't wait for desperation. Desperado, you waiting until you're desperate for a fix. I'm so thirsty. Keep you some water with you. And if it's hot, that's called tea. Let's keep some water. You don't need ice cold water for hydration. You don't need all these ice cold things. What you need is something that's going to give your body the hydration it needs. And it's out there to get. There's a major difference between need and depression. Need and desperation. It's a major difference between them. A legitimate need can exist long before it becomes urgent. Human behavior, however, often revolves around waiting. We waiting and waiting. Oh, I don't got to do it now. I had to go to the bathroom, but I'm going to wait. I got to do this, but I'm going to wait. What we waiting on all the time? Susie wants to leave, but she's going to wait. No, she's going to leave. Get up out of here, man. Excuse me for a second. Come on, co-host. Howdy, 5Gs. Don't scratch on my door no more. So we wait. Human behavior, however, often revolves around waiting. We wait until we're exhausted to rest. We wait until we're overwhelmed to ask for help. We wait until we're furious to communicate. We wait until money is nearly gone to make changes. We wait until consequences become frightening before challenging habits. Why are we waiting so hard on everything? We take it all the way to the end when we could have fixed it right here. Fix it. Don't keep waiting. When waiting becomes normal, we can mistake the emergency for the beginning of the problem. Often the emergency is simply the point at which earlier information can no longer be ignored. And that's what an emergency is a lot of times. Sometimes emergencies happen right up on you. But a lot of times an emergency is something that we built layer by layer, movement by movement, decision by decision. Now, we ignored it so long, we have an emergency. Think about a warning light appearing in a vehicle. That light is not attacking the driver. It is giving information. Covering the light does not repair the vehicle, and pretending Not to see it does not change the underlying condition. People often respond to physical, emotional, financial, relational warnings the same way, trying to remove the discomfort of the warning instead of addressing what it produced. Is that how you respond? You trying to get rid of the warning instead of addressing? You cover the light up in the car. It's the engine light. If you cover it up, it's still the engine light. You're still having an engine problem. Just because you put black tape over it doesn't change the engine. Yeah. What you thought? Come on. Animals in hot or dry environment demonstrate behavioral adaptations that reduce risk. Depending on the species, they may reduce activity during extreme heat, become active during cooler periods, seek shade, travel to dependable water, or obtain substantial moisture from food. Successful organisms adjust behavior to conditions instead of pretending conditions do not exist. Survival favors those who respond before desperation makes the decision for them. Where in your life are you waiting for something to become urgent before addressing it? What warning have you been calling an inconvenience? Let's answer those questions. Where in your life are you not addressing the warning signs? You got to think about that hard? No, it's right up in front of you because you know the signs you haven't been addressing. Now, address this right here for me. Subscribe, follow, like, share, support. $Master CT. Subscribe, follow, like, share, support. $Master CT. If you don't get that, hey, you haven't heard nothing I've been saying. That's where you can help out and change the dynamic of our community. If you need help with your dog, masterchristian.com. Dog training, help at your business with human and animal interactions. Have a standard. If you have multiple locations, let's get a standard in there so they're doing the same thing for the problems that come up and not just going out being life at the improv. Masterchristian.com. It'll help you figure out what you want to do today to get a system that reduces your risk at your business and in your life. Yo, subscribe, follow, like, share, support. $Master CT. Let's get ready. It's time for the news. It's time for the news. It's time. Yo, y'all are so much fun after 87 episodes. We on episode 88. I'm just thankful to be here. 88 days later. Thank you for supporting the show. Animals Today News, Controlled, episode 88. Endangered Sumatran tiger rescued in Indonesia. Wildlife officials and veterinarians in Agam Regency, West Sumatra, rescued a female Sumatran tiger on August 12th. The animal was found inside a trap cage during an operation intended to prevent further conflict between the endangered tiger and nearby communities. So it was found inside a trap cage. They trapped the tiger. It wasn't found. You trapped it. The rescue highlights one of the central challenges facing Sumatran tigers as habitat is reduced or fragmented. Habitat reduced or fragmented. Encounters between tigers and people can become more likely. Conservation teams must protect residents while also avoiding the unnecessary loss of an animal from a critically endangered population. The Sumatran tiger survives only on the Indonesian island of Sumatra. Conservation organizations estimate that only several hundred remain in the wild, making the safe management of individual animals especially important. Y'all are taking the land and then being mad at the tigers for coming on the land that you took from them. I understand now. It's a tiger. It wants to be where it's at. Human wildlife conflict is rarely just about the animal standing in front of us. Land use, habitat, food availability, human development, and animal movement all influence where encounters occur. Successful conservation requires managing the environment and the human behavior as well as the animal. Manage what y'all doing. You're just taking and taking and taking more space. Don't we have enough space? We're not using it to help the homeless and the hungry. Yeah, come on, man. I can't do the news and not have an opinion. I'm conflicted with this. I'm conflicted. Sometimes you're conflicted too. Animals evacuated as British Columbia wildfire spreads. Woo! The Bald Range wildfire in British Columbia's South Orcan region, region forced large-scale evacuations affecting people, pets, farm animals, and wildlife. Staff at the Interior Wildlife Rehabilitation Society have roughly had an hour to move about 30 animals before the facility was destroyed. Wow. The rescued wildlife includes bats, skunks, a porcupine, a baby beaver, otters, water birds, and turtles. Everywhere residents worked to move goats and other domestic animals to safety. Provincial officials said tens of thousands of farm animals were also being affected by evacuation orders and alerts. This story demonstrates how quickly an environment emergency becomes an animal safety emergency. Evacuating animals requires carriers, vehicles, trained handlers, destinations, and plans that may be very difficult from those required from people. It's not easy in an emergency moving animals. It's never going to be, because those animals that you're saving might not want to be saved, might be afraid, may want to bite you. You got to be prepared. Having a plan makes you prepared. If you're thirsty for helping, you got to have a plan. Make that part of your thirst. And animal emergency planning cannot begin after the emergency arrives. Facilities, farms, shelters, and individual animal owners need realistic evaluation procedures. More than 100 cats rescued from 3 New York City homes. 100 cats in 3 homes? This ought to be good. 100 cats, 3 homes. It's like 33.33 cats per home. More than 100 cats were removed from 3 unsanitary, overcrowded homes in Queens and in the Bronx during a coordinated rescue. The owners voluntarily surrendered the animals after acknowledging that they could no longer provide adequate care. 33, 34 cats. What kind of adequate care could you provide? The rescue population included kittens and pregnant cats. The animals were receiving medical evaluations and are expected to continue through treatment and recovery before eventually adoption placement. Large-scale overcrowding cases can develop gradually. What begins with the veterinary care reproduction space Hold on. What begins with a manageable number of animals can become an environment where sanitation, veterinary care, reproduction, space, and individual monitoring exceeds a person's ability to provide adequate care. 34 cats? You can't. Yo, 34 animals in one place. That's called a kennel. You have to set it up as a kennel. You can't manage 34 animals without having a plan and a structure and a setup and some help. Let's get to that. Some help. Help me. Caring about animals is not the same as having the capability to care for an unlimited number of them. Responsible animal stewardship requires recognizing limits before conditions deteriorate and animals begin suffering. Because that's what you bring into the table. If you got too many animals going on, suffering is what you're bringing to the table. 3-month-old Hawaiian monk seal dies in abandoned fishing net. Man, come on, man. A 3-month-old Hawaiian monk seal was found dead after becoming entangled in an abandoned lay net off Oahu's North Shore. The young seal was discovered about 10 yards offshore west of Mokelea Beach Park. Hawaiian monk seals are endangered, which makes the loss of a young animal particularly significant. Fishing gear that is abandoned, lost, or left unattended can continue functioning as a hazard even when no person is actively using it. Marine animals may become entangled while swimming, feeding, or exploring their environment. Unlike a visible human interaction with wildlife, discarded gear can remain in the habitat and create risk long after the person responsible for it has left. Human responsibility does not end when we leave an environment. Equipment and waste left behind can continue affecting animals. Prevention means thinking about what our actions leave in an animal's path, not merely what happened while we were present. That's ridiculous, yo. And that is Animal News Today. Animal Today News. Let's get it right. Animal Today News. Man, people be doing some wild stuff. And while we are talking about wild stuff, subscribe, follow, share, like, do all of that stuff. Support. $Master CT. Come on, y'all. This community needs you to be a part of it every day, whenever you can catch us in every way. Sorry about that. Whew. Not every thirst is for water. Yeah, you thought you was thirsting for something to drink. You're thirsting for something else. Life keeps you thirsty for the things that you need. And before you get super thirsty, you need to start addressing those issues. Human beings use the language of thirst for more than physical hydration because it describes powerful desire. People can thirst for attention, acceptance, purpose, connection, recognition, knowledge, opportunity, success, or security. When a need or desire becomes strong enough, judgment can change. Someone thirsty for attention may accept negative attention. Someone desperate for acceptance may change themselves to fit the wrong group. Someone desperate for money may accept a bad opportunity. Someone desperate for companionship may tolerate a destructive relationship. The desire itself is not always the danger. What you choose to satisfy it with can be the danger. Yeah, what you choose to satisfy it with. Physical thirst does not make every liquid safe to consume. The fact that something appears to satisfy an immediate need does not mean that it's good for you. Wanting something badly does not automatically make it make what is being offered appropriate. Sometimes the better question is not, what do I want? It is, what am I willing to accept because I want it so badly? What you willing to accept to quit your thirst? For some money, you willing to accept bad treatment? You willing to accept doing things that your character told you not to do? Don't be so thirsty about all these things. Animals also change behavior around scarce resources. When essential resources become limited, competition can intensify the movement patterns, and movement patterns may shift. Scarcity changes the value of a resource, and change value can change behavior. Humans respond to perceived scarcity as well. When love, money, opportunity, status, or attentions feel scarce, urgency can begin to influence choices. Be careful what you drink when desperation makes you thirsty. Careful what you sipping on, because that sip may be something you don't need in your life. About them people. Ooh, they so pretty. I want her. Okay, you gonna get her. She may not be what you need. What are you thirsty for right now that has nothing to do with water? Has wanting something so badly ever caused you to accept something you normally would not? Yo, you can tell me. We friends. Go ahead and tell me. What you thirsting for? What's the problem? What have you accepted that you really didn't need? Come on, put it in the comments. We're going to get to the root of this. Access changes behavior. Having a need is only one part of the equation. A living organism also needs access to a resource capable of meeting that need. Water demonstrates this clearly. Reliable access to usable water shapes human communities, agriculture, wildlife, livestock management, and ecosystems. Change where the water is available, and you can change movement, concentration, competition, and survival. Before judging a behavior, examine the environment in which the behavior is occurring. Consider two people who both understand the importance of drinking water. One has safe water immediately available. The other has difficulty obtaining it. Their knowledge can be identical, while their ability to act is completely different. We often call something a motivation problem when it actually can be an access problem. The same can be true with education, transportation, healthy food, information, opportunity, or support. A dependable watering location can become the center of animal activity. Predators may know it. Prey animals may depend on it. Competition may occur around it. Movement patterns can form around it. Necessary resources influence behavior. Even if you want to understand repeated choices, look at what the environment makes easy, difficult, available, or unavailable. You know, necessary resources influence behavior, so you got to check that out. If you want to understand behavior, look at what the environment makes available. What resource would immediately improve your life if you had better access to it? What can quench your thirst if you had better access to it? How much behavior do we judge without first examining the environment that helped produce it? Yeah, that goes for all of us. You got to take a pause and examine the environment and see what's going on. You got to stay calm, confident, and consistent. You got to be able to pause with this. That's how life works. Respond to the first signal instead of waiting to desperation to set in. Respond to the first signal. Thirst ultimately teaches awareness. We do not have to wait until every situation becomes severe before responding. That ain't what we have to do. We don't got to wait for that. Your body communicates, animals communicate, people communicate, plants communicate through observable changes, environments communicate through changing conditions, problems leave clues, and behavior leaves clues. Controlled behavior is not about controlling everything around you. It's about developing enough awareness to make better decisions about what you can control. Sometimes one of the most powerful decisions is simply responding earlier. Yeah, not too late. You wait too late, the problem's too big. It's too big now. Now we got to bring people in. Now we need more help. Think about a plant beginning to droop. You can ignore the change. Later, the plant may look dramatically worse, and eventually you may be dealing with severe damage. The dramatic condition was not the first communication. There were earlier changes. Instead of only asking what happened, behavior analysis asked what happened before this happened. You saw the plant drooping. It was droopy. And then you didn't make an adjustment to the plant to stop it from drooping. You didn't put it up. You didn't water it. Give it some fertilizer. It's things you could have done. Check to see if it was bugs in it. It's many things you can do. Put it in the sun. It's going to reach for the sun. Yo, good animal handling depends heavily on recognizing what happened before the obvious reaction. Skilled handlers do not want to wait for the bite, kick, charge, escape attempt, or full defensive response. They watch changes in body position, movement, distance, eyes, ears, tail, breathing, avoidance, freezing, and normal behavior patterns. Whoo, that's a lot. You can watch all of that. Yeah, we watch all of that. The dramatic behavior may be the final signal in a much longer conversation. And you wasn't watching. You didn't get to see what was going on with the animal. You seen it, but you weren't watching in detail. You weren't paying attention. You must be able to evaluate every day. Rub your animal down, feel if there's any ticks or anything on it. Look at its belly, check for fleas. You got lots of things to do. Knots, bumps, scrapes, scratches, cuts. Check for all of these things every day. Make time. Yeah. That means you got to be a little handsy to check for these things. But it's worth it. Learn to recognize the whisper before you are forced to deal with the scream. The first signal is information. The final signal may be an emergency. What early warnings do you need to start taking more seriously? What would change in your life if you became better responding earlier? Thirst is communication. Do not simply react to signals. Learn what they are telling you. A signal is useful information about the condition of a system. Desperation changes decisions. The longer legitimate needs are ignored, the more urgency is to influence choices. Addressing needs earlier preserves more options. Respond earlier. Whether we are talking about your body, another person, an animal, a plant, or an environment, early signals matter, and you should respond early to those signals. Today we are not just talking about drinking water. It was about listening. Thirst is one example of a much larger principle. Living things communicate their needs. Your body communicates. Animals communicate. Plants communicate. People communicate. Environments communicate. Sometimes we can call a sudden problem was not sudden at all. What we call a sudden problem was not sudden at all. We simply did not recognize, understand, or respond to what came before it. Listen sooner, understand what the signal means, respond before need becomes desperation. Today, pay more attention to one signal you normally ignore. What is this trying to tell me? Then make one appropriate response before you're forced to. Single call to action is follow control and share today's episode with one person who needs to stop ignoring the warning signs. Follow control and share today's episode with the one person who needs to stop ignoring the warning signs. That's what we need to do. Follow, subscribe, like, share, support, $ Master CT. Today's show was presented to you by Master Christian LLC. If you need help with your animals, masterchristian.com. Whether you run a business, veterinarian office, whatever it is, hotel, HOA, we got help for you. If you need individual lessons, hit me up. I can help you today. I am Master Christian, our co-host with Susie Spaniel. This has been show 88, Controlled, episode 88. Thirst. First things first. Pay attention to what becomes before your thirst. Yo, I'm Master Christian. It's been great to have you here. We're out. Peace.